Hey, what's up, Road to Results family? Hey, Ray here. I'm Ray. You already know Rhy. Hey, look, here August 4th through August 5th. Eric, I always say it, and I mentioned in the podcast, hey, yes, I do real estate. Yes, I am in real estate. But I remind people what you do can never be bigger than why you do it. And regardless of that, I feel that I don't enjoy real estate. Enjoying isn't a requirement for getting it done. And why I do everything is for my girl is right here. Like it is my family, it is my purpose. So I move at a pace that I have been successful in real estate through Jemal's Make Real Estate Real and my own application of who I naturally am. Hey, so August 4th and August 5th, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do an online seminar. You can sign up for it in the link in the description of this podcast. Hey, I'm going to be doing Real Estate 101, how I got started from military to millionaire. Hey, speak those things that aren't as though as if they are. So take the action steps, take necessary if you want to get in, join me for July 25th for about $100 off, and then so we can actually get going, so we can give you the steps necessary to get started. It's not even about the action, it's about why you do it. It's about the person. So you have to become the right person to make this action step successful. So I look forward to seeing you there. Hey, August 4th and August 5th. We'll have opportunity to do some Q&A, answer some questions, some concerns, but give you the fuel you need to go ahead and move forward and start building your portfolio the right way. Let's go.
All right, my bro. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Road to Results podcast where we are all about uncovering the mindset journey. I'm your host, Bro Rhy, with my bro, Ray Jones, live and direct, Greenville, South Carolina, and Texas in the building. We are episode number 12, y'all. Can y'all believe that? Episode number 12 in the mix. That's what, 3 months? 3 months?
3 months. Don't forget the bonus episode.
3 months consistent. Not including the bonus episodes, because, we put a whole bunch out in those bonus episodes. So, again, if this is your first time rocking with us, be sure to like, comment, and share this podcast with all those who may just need a little inspiration. Also, more importantly, just getting some nuggets, y'all. We're sharing these real-time nuggets from the You Owe You Mastermind, which is a program that we are taking under the guidance and the leadership of Dr. Eric Thomas, aka E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, aka E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. So yeah, let's just jump right into this. Ray, what's going on, bro? Talk to us. What have you been up to lately? What is the latest and the greatest with you, my bro?
What have you done for me lately? Man, I tell you, last week's episode, bro, we was live and direct from Lansing, Michigan. And yeah, that one, man, that's just, an entire blessing in itself, man. But coming back, getting back to the swing of things, really only been back to the house for, 2-3 days. Was it? Yeah, 3 days. Sunday, I don't really move a whole lot. That's Lord's Day at church. Spent some time. Me and the girls went to the movies, watched the new Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, whatever it is. I've never seen any of the other ones, so I just went to chill. They wanted to watch it. We were relaxing, some nachos, little chill spot. They got arcades and all that. But yesterday and today, man, back to the grind. Hitting heavy on this real estate stuff. We had the opportunity yesterday, and man, I'm gonna tell you that changed my energy levels with the new intake of the You Owe You Mastermind group. Our family grew.
C2 in the building. C2.
Hey, welcome y'all. If y'all just now listening, hey, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. But I'm gonna tell you, man, I was like, the first person said, "Hey, good evening, everybody." I was like, I don't know who that is. And the next one was like, "What's up, fam?" And I was like, I don't know. I started slowly picking up the phone, and then I started texting the family. I was telling everyone, "Hey, who this?"
And for context, for those of you, again, maybe you're just new to the podcast, we, again, are part of the first cohort, which started back in February. So there's a group about 40-ish of us. And we become like a little family, a little pack of African wild dogs. And last week, like Ray mentioned, we were in Michigan for part of the You Owe You Summit. So we had the opportunity to be with the fam, the squad out there, and even got to be on stage and just, be in the presence and just be just share kind of. We were sharing a little bit here and there with the mastermind. So there was like 500 plus folks at the summit.
Yeah.
And the results of that were people signed up to be part of the second cohort. So last night, unexpectedly, we had no idea that we were going to have people who just joined, like jump in. And I was the same way. And Danielle was like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And just all these new names started popping up. And then we had this telegram, and the telegram started blowing up. The telegram started blowing up just because, again, we were caught off guard just a tad bit. But we made the adjustment nonetheless. And cohort 2, welcome to the pack. Super excited to run with y'all and just to continue to help grow. But yeah, it was a moment for sure, bro. It was a moment.
Yeah, definitely had a moment, brother. Definitely had a moment. But yeah, man, I mean, it is another opportunity to grow from some other people, another opportunity to try to continue for us to impact others, through our mission, our message, everything that we're trying to do, how we translate everything that's poured into us and how we can reciprocate it back into, whether it's our media communities or even within our own, You Owe You Mastermind. So, but yeah, man, yesterday had a closing on a property. Like I said, I've been offloading pretty much all my short-term rentals just from some legal shifts here in the area that I'm at, and I have no interest in dealing with it. So closed on one yesterday, but the schedule, everything's planned out. Title company popped on me last minute, and I was like, well, let the buyer know, like, I still need some time. And the buyers were like, nah. And I was like, well, you ain't getting the keys then. So closed yesterday, bro, and then dropped my daughter off at school, man, and went straight to the property and just started, breaking down beds. I actually donated 90% of the stuff to my church because they're doing a summer yard sale. So anybody wants to empty out all their stuff, whatever, they're all the proceeds from that go directly to my church is actually launching a vintage Christian academy for grade school.
Beautiful.
This coming school year. So all the proceeds from everything that's being sold is going directly to that. So hit up my student pastor, he came over and helped me load up couches, TVs, man, all that stuff. Made a couple trips, got back here in time, had my property appraised, so we're going through the refinance of that stuff because pools added, couple properties have been sold in the area, price values have gone up.
Come on now. 6 acres.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on now.
A little bit of space.
Got
so we
you
just
a
finished
nice
up with
little
that,
plot.
man.
Love
Yeah.
Love it. Now, let me ask you
good,
this.
It's good space. What's up?
When it comes to like the folks that are buying your properties up, are they buying them as investment properties as well, or are they buying them as to live in, primary residence that you know of?
I don't know.
It don't matter.
It
as long as it's clear to close, as long as those funds come through.
As long as we have to clear to close. I mean, it's one of those things like I get it, but it's like, I don't, unless I brought a seller to the table or a buyer, like whatever it is that, whatever end of the spectrum that I'm on at that moment, you don't really talk to the buyer or the seller.
True.
That's what the agents are for, the intermediaries. Danielle should be going through that.
Yeah,
like they're the
you're right,
intermediaries. Like I was like, yo, let me stop playing telephone. Let me just talk to this dude or woman.
You're right.
And there's like, that's not and then, man, I was like, yo, well, then add me to these email chains. Like, we can't do that. I'm like, nah, you be messing up what I'm trying to say.
You keep it ethical. That's good, though. That's good. You got some ethical people on your team. And that's actually, you're right. I just asked because, again, I think about when people are buying properties, I'm just curious what the buying habits of people are these days. Are they, are there a lot of investors, or are there a lot of just primary residence folks? But yeah, no, that's cool.
I mean, just from the this perspective of me like being a lender, I really think it's just regional. Like markets shift up and down based off the markets. So the market, the area, the region that you're in, you get those influxes and defluxes based off the performance of that market. So I think right now we're kind of at like a stable pace here. And I think most of them, based off the loan type that's coming through, I think most of the sales that I've been doing have been owner occupied, so like VA or FHA loans. People's gonna live in it.
Oh,
but
good.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, no, that's what's up. Let's see, what's Bro Rhy been up to since since the
You
last
got the
pod.
in-laws coming in.
Yeah, got some family coming in. Got some family coming in today. But business wise, yeah, it was crazy. Yesterday, I had an interview with a potential admin assistant to handle contracts
How'd that go?
and engagement. It went really good for the fact that she's a wife of a friend of mine who is in the social media space. He does a lot of tech stuff in the space. But the fact that she is well versed with the faith-based communities that I'm a part of, and she knows kind of the lingo. And I had her take an assessment. I was like, hey, part of what I do is so I can communicate well and be effective, and so that we can really work well together. Like I usually I give this assessment. Are you cool with that? She's like, yeah, no problem. She took the assessment. She's a high grounds crew, number one. Number two, and she kind of floats between her flight attendant and air traffic, which she scored really high in as well. And so after giving her, the job description, the SOPs, like for me, the biggest thing is taking off all the admin work, which she already does with a nonprofit part time, which is why she was like, hey, if you have part time opportunities, I'm like, yo, I'm with it. So that went really well. And again, the first thing I asked her was like, what do you want? Like, what do you see? In this process, I'm like, tell me what it is that you want. What is your vision? Where do you see yourself? And she's very like, shout out to Sarah. She's all about like getting behind projects and being part of missions that she believes in. And so after she had some questions for me, and then about kind of not just the process, but the what I do for work specifically. And she didn't realize how deep I was with elementary schools, public schools, private schools, even in the church work that I'm doing, like all the different spaces that I have been in and am going into. She was quite surprised because we never met in person. Even her husband, we just met online through just ministry work. And so, praise be to God that it was a good meeting. And so I'm meeting with her again on Thursday, and we're going to go over now the business side of it. Now that I have her assessment and I can see where she could fit in, so that it's not just hiring myself, right? Because that's the biggest thing is you don't want to just be around people just like you because you'll get nothing done. So we're going to go over specifically all the different SOPs on Thursday, and then we're going to talk about compensation. So that was good.
Yeah.
And then I also had 2 meetings yesterday with 2 directors, 1 superintendent in California, Sacramento diocese, and she's like ahead of all of the schools in
Shout
the
out to the
Sacramento area.
916.
916 to the 707, and I asked her to really just to poke holes in my adult program, and so she was helping me just giving me perspective on like, okay, well, if I give this to my principals and my teachers, what's the takeaway for them? And so she was just sharing a lot of insight that was in alignment with why I want to bring this tool, the self-awareness tool, to her school. So it was really good. So I have that gig in August with 5 or 6 schools. And she goes, you know what, just let's do that. I'm going to help you. I'll look through your professional development piece. We can go through that right before you go out there. She'll give me her, just kind of her advice on it, because her PhD is in leadership. So
Nice.
I'm like, yeah, let's do this, and I'm sure my principals like to talk. And if you do well, which you've always done well, we can talk about bringing you to all 40 something schools.
Nice.
Right? So there's an opportunity to again scale and bring training. And what I love the most about what she said, which is something that CJ always said, is CJ's like, I'm in the business of doing what people are not doing.
Yeah.
And so when I explained to her the program, the purpose, self-awareness tool, the flight assessment, it's called Leading with Authenticity is the name of the program. And I broke it all down, again, using self-awareness as kind of the starting point. She was like, no, we don't do it. We have a leadership academy, but it's just for my principals. But we don't have anything for the staff, the teachers, the classified staff, the volunteers.
The ones that are interacting with kids.
Exactly. It's like we don't have anything for them in terms of, leadership, self-awareness, EQ. And then the way that I framed it is like, being able to be confident have role clarity, and just kind of all the objectives. So she was super like, "Oh, dude, let's give it a shot, and I'm gonna help you out throughout the way." I met her through CrossFit. It was crazy years ago. We were both doing CrossFit together. We got hella tight, and then all of a sudden, she was a teacher at one of the schools, then became a principal, and got her PhD, and now she's the freaking head superintendent of this whole group. And she's like, and me and her are still tight to this day. So shout out to Katie Parada for just for always keeping it real with me. And it's like, yo, let's get this out there. Let's get this out there. So yeah, man, just exciting. Just to, again, just like ET said, and like what CJ said, like do what people aren't doing. Think results.
Yeah.
And they're just showing up in ways that feel good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say that it feels good to know that I'm in this space of like, yo, no one's doing this in my space, in this, specifically in this industry. And so, yeah.
But that's a, it's so people hear that, you don't want to be a clone. You don't want to be a copy. You even said that when we was at Lansing speaking at that school. It's like, you don't want to be a cheap copy of something else. But that's where, brother, I mean, some people let me just mimic the market. Let me just do what things are doing. And, there is a business principle to that. Like, why? Don't be trying to recreate the wheel. But even the wheel, there's some spokes missing. Like, there's an area that can be reinforced. And a lot of people are afraid to step into that because of, like, there's nobody to my left and the right. But, like, but that's the whole reason why you got a whole clear path.
Got a lane
here in front of you. Just do it. It's like, I may not have done it right, but I did it first.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's like, that's me, man. I mean, that's that, not necessarily looking through the structure of things, but it's like, I didn't do it right. Or we'll say right, because people can sharpshoot all day after it's said and done. But I did it first. So now you have something to correct and to improve. So yeah, man, there's definitely a lot to be said about stepping into that space of like authenticity and genuinely trying to address a gap that's in the market that you can improve on, and then you just become valuable in that space. And they're like, all right, Rhy's the godfather of this, of this program. So it's been improved by some of the people, the support systems you get. But yeah, man, so that's legit. But other than that, man, like, what's up? What are we on today? You got anything on your heart? You got anything on your spirit?
Nah, you know what? So just thinking about yesterday, we like to keep it fresh. So something that came to me when I was thinking about, and it kind of left me, but I still have a little piece of it from earlier. You mentioned something about like how we all kind of got caught off guard. And I remember we always, would say disruptions.
Yeah.
Disruptions. And so the devil disrupts to distract and God disrupts to develop. And so we, especially in our cohort, got comfortable. And I think there was some conversation around that, right? Like, that's just being comfortable. And now we're like getting a little uncomfortable. And I'm not gonna lie, like, just from what I heard this morning at the accountability call and even last night, because folks were like dropping their LinkedIn profiles in the chat, and there's some heavy hitters, bro. There are some like heavy hitters in our group, which I am all for. Right. So talk about that for a little bit. Like, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on like how these disruptions show up. What is the mindset, especially because we're just in that culture where like sometimes it's, us against the world, or, sometimes people feel like threatened in some way, shape, or form when in this community specifically, that's never the intention, never the goal. But yeah, just speak to kind of, what is it? I don't know if it's a psychological thing or if it's just stuff from our own past that comes up for us, or maybe it's a mixture of both. But when it comes to that, those kinds of disruptions in business, let's just talk specifically business. How does that propel you or pull you back when it comes to the road to results?
Man, so I mean, there's definitely something to be said. So I think within specifically this area and what that was, man. I mean, there is, I'll talk military background, man. There's unit cohesion. Like, we've built that. Even when we all first came in, like, we didn't really know who was who. You and I knew each other, obviously, but there's still other people coming in. and, just going through the growth of accountability. What are you doing today? But that's how we started connecting with everybody. That's how I got connected with Joss, and that's how I connected with Tanisha. And then we found another group of people. We all connected at Phenomenal Life, and we started getting closer and closer. And I feel like we haven't been like so super, super, like, I feel like we're just hitting that real mesh point where now, like, we're like, yo, what's up? Like, how's everybody doing? How was your weekend? What's going on? Like, we really embracing that family, that pack mentality, especially last week after the summit. They throwing it out there, and then you and I throwing a little spin on it, and like really embracing it. So like we embraced us as a unit, as one, as one piece. And then right when we like fully comfortable, like in that, you gonna give us a baby brother and some baby sisters. You're like, hold on, man.
You sure did say that in Telegram, man. Danielle was like, Ray is a nut. But she was sharing me the text, and then Jocelyn jumped in, and Farrah jumped in. No, you're right. I agree. Like, we're like in that stride. I feel like we as a unit we started really getting in stride in a cohesive way. I love that fact, that cohesive unit.
So we started becoming that one like true effort. Like, guy's got his own his summit this weekend, or this is his strategy that he's doing on Saturday, and like everybody's like, yo, where's the link at so we can support? Like just these things, like us being over there at the summit, like the whole family was like, yo, let us get that link. Because for context, right? I'm going to pick up eventually. Rhys likes to give context. So you had to register for the You Owe You Summit, and that was for new people to come in and welcome them in. But Ryan and I had the blessing and the opportunity to be there. So everybody in our cohort was like, yo, where's this link at? Like, yo, we steppers. Like, we get grandfather, we get privileges being here. So let us get it. And our and that was for the VIP general
session. That's what it was. So they had the general session that it was just E, and then E was like, "Yo, I'm gonna bring you on for the VIP session because we want to do Q&A for those considering joining the summit." And that's what that's what instead of doing a recording video testimonial, Ray was like, "Bro, what if we show up?" All right, and I really want to talk about that too, because again, so many opportunities presented itself just because of that idea. But just hold on to that thought. And so what happened was, after the general session started closing up, they were like, hey, everyone, the link's about to close. Everyone's about to be shut out. And then Danielle was watching, and she was like, what? And she was like, I got cut out. And she legit got cut out of the, she got kicked off. And then everyone in cohort 1 was like hitting up the Telegram. Do we get the link? Do we get the link? Do we get the link? And then Tyrus was like, y'all want the link? This is just a pitch. It's for the program that y'all are already in. And they were in the Telegram like, no, we want to see Ray and Rhy. We want to be with, we want to see them up there, blah, blah, blah. And like, he was like, not like for reals about us, but he was like, okay. And then he dropped the link in the Telegram, bro. And then, but that was the type of like, we want to see us all succeed. Right? That's the mindset right now. The pack is, it don't matter your industry. It don't matter how long or how short you've been doing something. I mean, Josh just started Hit Academy. We're like, all right, we're going to promote it. We're going to put it out there. Yeah. Blind faith in the sense of because we want to do our part to help you eat. Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, so, man, there's those things where like you definitely want to, in any type of group environment, like you want to get that cohesive, that synchronization of how we move together. I mean, any type of team sport, anything like that, like if there's no cohesion, man, we're not on one accord. But whenever you bring in someone new, like even in the military, it's like, like we want to, one or two, like it's easy to welcome it, bro. Like we doubled the group. So now it almost felt like, and don't be wrong, like, like we were there to like, y'all need this, but I think even with me in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, they gonna be doing their thing, we gonna be doing our thing. Occasionally we'll come together, celebrate each other, but like we not gonna be like this. Like we're already like this. Like we're already together. Like this is my family. This is what we're doing. We're moving. This is my team. This is my pack. And now you want to throw in a bunch of other, African wild dogs, we'll call them applicants. We'll call them applicants, um, until, they fully commit. But it's like, there is uncomfort in that because like, I know my family, but now there's a bunch of other people in between us. And you're supposed to be family, but I look at you different versus how I look at the new ones coming in. And that's where I was like, yo, I literally had to struggle. So like even at the end of it, I was like, yo, this is a spiritual development piece. Like let me actually bring in some scripture to this because I'm struggling with it right now personally. Like, yeah, you and I were like, yo, y'all need to be here. Like the demonstration, like that's why I said that, the demonstration is more powerful. We're there and saying y'all need to be here. But now y'all here, and I'm like, I mean, when I met here, I didn't know like right
our,
here.
our spirit was tested for sure. Our spirit was tested for
Yeah, yeah.
sure. And
So
just
so
go ahead, bro.
no, hold on, just real quick. Business wise, I respect it because we have an in-person mastermind here in like 2 weeks. So when we get to go rub elbows, shake hands with these people, give some people some hugs, some love, and have some conversations, the energy will definitely be different. It'll be more welcoming. And we'll probably feel some kind of way if some of them don't stay for the full 52 weeks. So now we're going to have that roller coaster of emotions because at first I'm like, you're welcome, but like, this is my family, this is my pack. Like I want to keep them safe. I want to protect them from I don't know you yet. And then we get to know them, and then they don't stay and be like, "Yo, where you at?" Like,
Yeah,
I thought we
no,
had
that's real.
some.
That's real. And there
So
and there were some people like that. Yeah, there were some folks who, um, from the first mastermind in Atlanta, that I attended, who aren't, you know, with the 50, in the whole 52-week program. They actually just paid whatever it was, the 3 racks, and then went to the mastermind, but didn't move on. But I just want to, just speak to that real quick. I'm gonna just, my thought is, and I think this is really important. Right, here's a lesson. Here's kind of the takeaway from that experience, is that when you build that relationship, at all costs, you want to be mindful of, number one, protecting that relationship, and then also like who you let in, right? Because
yeah,
again, in our minds, and still like we would assume that everybody that's going to come through ETA is pure hearted and got the best intentions, but even you and folks from ETA will say that that's just not the case, right? So I think there is something important when it comes to business. All right, y'all, with road to results. Road to results. Like Ray and I have built a relationship. Ray, Danielle, and I, like we have a handful of folks from this mastermind that we are really tight with. That we connect with offline. Nothing to take away from anyone else, but it's more of like, how do you spend your time? And I think we talked about it yesterday: equal giving versus equal sacrifice.
yeah,
Right? Like not everyone's going to be able to equally give, but can we equally sacrifice? And the reality is with a group of 40 plus, like we can't equally sacrifice for every single person there. So
yeah,
being mindful and being wise about who you can continue to build relationship with authentically and genuinely. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for other people in the group. And so when I think about that in real time, we got 24 hours in a day. If you don't have the results that you desire, if you're not where you want to be in your life, then look at, like I said with the kids yesterday, last week in Michigan, who do you spend and where do you spend your time with on a daily? Out of
yeah,
24 hours in a day, name the people you're hanging out with, name the places that you're hanging out at, name all the different activities that you're doing with your time, and then we could really dissect that and figure out what's holding you back and what's holding you down. So I think it's really important, y'all, for those of you listening or watching this, pod right now. If you look at the road to results, yesterday's example was number one of how, as a pact, as a community, we're protective of each other, irrespective, right? Just because it was something new, something was thrown at us, so naturally we went into like protect mode. But then, of course, we know where we were once we kind of like took a breath and realized where we were at and who we were with. We were like, yo, this is fam. They want the same thing we want because we were there. But
yeah,
still, even moving forward, like how we use our energy, how and who we continue to grow with and add on to and pour into, like it's during all of our calls and during accountability, it's always going to be love. But I think it's
yeah,
really important that it can be easy to overqualify. Straight up flight attendant, guilty. I'll easily overqualify everyone, and Ray will tell me no. Ray will be like, nope, don't do it. Nope, nope, stop. Like he protects my energy from myself. And I think that's really important to think about. If you're stuck, if you are not where you want to be, what are your boundaries like? Who's protecting you in terms of energy? Who's protecting like what you got that's good and keeping it within that? And who's equally sacrificing for you?
Oh yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
something that, us getting up at 3 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 5 a.m., depending where you're at, us getting up early, showing up for each other Monday through Friday. Again, like you said, cohesive unit, bro. Like we literally have just built something super solid or in stride on and off the Telegram, on and off the Zoom. Like we're supporting each other.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so I just appreciate that. I just want to shout you out for that because, you hit my blind spots all the time. And I'm learning from you of like when to be more direct, when to pull back, all the different ways where I'm like, oh, okay, why is that? Why did Ray say not to do this or to do that? Oh, okay, because he wants me to protect our energy, or he wants to protect what we got going on, or in a way of like, so we can keep going forward. Otherwise, we can easily get distracted, and then fall off the course.
Or even discouraged. So, and it's like, we're talking about like the psychology of it, but the what you had to take the perspective shift. And we were talking about like the other day, like, what lens are you looking at this from? And it's easy because now we're like I said, we're 3 months into this thing, and like now we're part of it. But bro, to realize with our real eyes that us being welcomed as the first group was probably uncomfortable for some people. Bruh, us being allowed to sit next to E last week was probably uncomfortable with some people. They were like, bro, like who? Like we know these dudes, but like we don't like know these dudes. Like what they gonna say? Like, bro, you realize we're live. You just gonna give these dude a mic? Like you don't know what's gonna come out of Ray's mouth. I mean, sometimes I don't know what's gonna come out of my mouth. But it's like, but it's like there's uncomfort and growth. So I want to remove like the necessity of like just community perspective and put it from the lens of business and opportunities. And if you want to scale, I'm sorry, you're going to have to add some more pieces. You just talked about you brought on an admin assistant. I just recently hired on a social media manager. There's uncomfort in that. Like even there's still things I'm like, I don't even know what I really want you to do, what I should trust you to do. Or I mean, it's not even like a trust thing, like, oh, you gonna do dirty. It's like, like I don't know.
Yeah.
So we were on the receiving end from somebody, whether they want to voice it or not in the community, whether it's our coaches, whether it's the staff, whether it's the whoever it is within the ETA community, somebody was probably like, yo, like, you sure you want to do this? Like you just want to be in contact and connection with these folks like that? Like we don't know them like that, but we gonna trust them with like essentially carrying our brand.
Yeah.
So from the business piece, it makes like how does E impact more people? I got to bring more people into the family. I got to get people to trust and understand that, we actually want to take care of each other, that we are a unit, that we are cohesive, and we going to welcome you in with open arms. So when you shift the perspective, and I had to yesterday, man, because, man, I was like, typically we quiet. Like some people look at me like, Ray, why you always look like you want to punch someone in the face? Bless you. But, why you always want to look like you want to punch someone in the face? I'm like, well, I mean, man, it's just my face. But like said, I'm not always like we talking about you just smiling and stuff like that. I try to lighten the mood a little bit myself looking at you. You say you pull for me on these moving a certain way. I'm like, okay. Like before I'd be like, bro, I know Ryan wants to snap a pic. And I'm like that me, I'm not like, no, bro, let's just move. But
Hey, capture the memory, bro. Capture the memory, okay?
Yeah, whatever. I ain't gonna look at it. But like there's importance and there's meaning business wise. I'm like, okay, that's social proof. But with the group of people, man, like honestly, on the business side, if we truly want to carry on and what we say, like assist with the legacy of Dr. Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher, there needs to be more people. Yeah. We spoke about this, probably 2 months ago now. Like,
the harvest is plenty, but the workers are few, bro. Now we continue to build our workers.
Facts.
We continue to build our laborers so that we can reap that harvest that's out there for us. But as we reap, he gets the additional credit. He gets, hey, I put these people out there. I gave them the opportunity to produce for good, to produce from a fruitful spirit, to produce in a place that carries a good name and the good nature of God and that grace. And it's like, I had to step back, man. It's like, I was really, bro, man, I ain't never been nervous talking in our groups, bro. I was nervous, man. I was like, because my heart was like, I don't know who y'all are, man. Like, who?
I know. No,
So
trust
it's-
me. That Telegram blew up. Tyrus had to come in and do some housekeeping in the Telegram, and then he even came on camera. But it goes to show, right? Just like the passion that we have and the respect that we have for each other, and for the brand, right? And for the brand. And so, something that I was thinking about was someone said, Ray, why you gonna be upset or feel some kind of way when you're the one who told him to join? Because then, we were literally on the Q&A, and Ray was like, "Yo, this is where you need to be." So people did exactly that, and again, right, it still caught us off guard in that sense. And I just want to say, right, I think that there's something to share. There's something to say, that shows, like you just said, like being there. And I'm just gonna bring this back because. Why were we there? Not because anyone asked us to be there. Like, wasn't a requirement to be at the You Owe You Summit in person. Was it an opportunity? Absolutely. Like, me and Ray didn't just show up at the door. Hey, yo, we here, like out of nowhere, right? It wasn't one of those situations. But when we were asked to kind of give our testimony, I love what you said. You said us being there in person demonstrates the growth of what we're doing, the fruit of the work that ETA has been putting in, because we have been able to make ourselves available in person. And I remember E was like, "Oh, we got special guests," and it was funny because we went to go see Marcus Leslie. Shout out to Mr. Leslie Cheesecakes. Matter of fact, Danielle loves the cookies and cream.
They were delicious.
And he was like, oh, y'all the special guest. And then people just started saying more and more, "Are y'all the special guest?" And I had no idea what he was talking about. And then when he had mentioned, we got some people flying out, right? And I think when you brought it up to me originally, again, like I even said at the summit, back in the days, not me per se, but Danielle would have been like, "Yo, to do what? Just record the video." But her mindset, and which I share with everybody at the summit, was that her mindset has transformed where we are literally on one accord. So instead of, "Nah, are you sure? Is it going to be worth it?" It was like, "All right, are you going?" And then she was like, "Is there anything else you can do while you're out there?" And it made me think of Katie Davis. Shout out to Katie Davis, the Playbook program. And then we got to speak at Sexton High School.
Literacy lady.
Yeah, the literacy lady. So just again, right, like being there for the 2 days that we were there, to be behind the scenes, on camera, on stage, and meet, again, the folks out there. Shout out to Keith Tate. Shout out to Keith Tate, man. He just surprised us and dropped us a 50 just to go have something to eat. So we went to Texas Roadhouse. Shout out to Keith Tate for just blessing us. We just met this cat, and all of a sudden he texts me like, "Hey, bro, put something under the cone for y'all that outside." And so much value. And then I think the conversation with Jemal, I'm gonna let you speak to that one. That conversation with Jemal, and I think this is a good space for us to kind of share this final message, like, because Jemal pulled us both aside, and this man pulled me by the bicep. Like, you know how when you grabbing people and you pulling people aside, like my man was like, "Hey, come here, y'all. And you were already there. And I think I was talking to Korshan. Shout out to Korshan. But this dude grabbed me by the bicep, and I was like, "Hold up, bro. This is," so it was serious. And then he really wanted our attention in that moment because he had something to share. So go ahead and share a little bit about that, bro, and whatever you want to end with our viewers, because it's been amazing just to have the experience. So thank you, Ray, for continuing to drive and push me out of my comfort zone and challenge me. I'm going to say that. So road to results, be challenged, be around community that pushes you and challenges you. Know that there's going to be disruptions. It's how you make the adjustments that make the difference. So to send us home, the final message, let's get us my Bro Rhy.
Well, first off, man, like, it is not one way, man. It's definitely mutual. We talked yesterday about mutualism. Man, seeing you in your element when we was out there in Lansing, talking to the kids, especially when you're on the video, man, just the energy and smile, like it literally like warmed my heart. And, stuff like that, like that's something, some of y'all maybe say like, yo, Ray's just straight, like, It's like, no, man, I love on some people. It's just sometimes, like I protect that energy for a reason. And I'm not saying like, hey, if we engage, we talk, if you ever run into me, like, yo, we can talk all day. Like, I'm straight. We're good. But sometimes it's like, nah, man, what's this dude about? So like loosening up in those areas and kind of, smiling instead of looking like, I might want to choke you out for no reason. But in that moment, man, like Jemal, he was getting ready to head out. He'd been traveling for a while, want to get back to the family. And, but, he just stopped me and he's like, hey, what y'all doing is just keep doing it. Just make yourselves available. Just make yourselves available. And he says it all the time. And he says, your level of exposure will determine your level of success. And I'm working on, I'm working on a book right now, something just a collaboration of a bunch of things. But one of the things I have in there is we talk about, the results of the fruits. So the fruits of our labors we can eat off of, that's surviving. We can sustain off of, that's striving. And then we can host a feast off of. That's thriving. So like at what level is your production of your fruits creating? Are you just able to eat it yourself? Are you, are you day to day and just you get it? Yeah, I'm good today, but tomorrow I don't know where it's going to come from because I'm going to have to go out there and hustle again tomorrow. Are you doing enough to get you through the week and maybe even the month? Like what fruits are you producing? Are you able to eat for the month? Or are you producing enough to where you can host? Like you can actually host like a full-on like gourmet buffet, like just there because of the efforts and the things that you're doing. And I want y'all to realize, man, like if that's your goal and that's the thing that you're trying to do, you have to move that way. And you have to see like there's opportunity in everything that comes in front of you and you have to see it. Some people saw this as they didn't understand it as far as why I thought it was important to be there. They didn't understand it. It was confusing. They didn't see the fruits coming from it. But bro, I know for you and me, as for me and my bro, bro, we trying to host, man. We trying to host that buffet. We trying to host that meal. Like we trying to have people eat from the fruits of our labor. And if that's all we can do, like I said, the demonstration there, if anybody through that cohort, if anybody joined because of our demonstration of us physically being there, even though we didn't say a whole lot, but they saw it. They're like, you know what? This is real. It's not just E up there by himself. It's E and these two, I don't even know their names.
Dude
but
with the
it's
backwards
real.
hat. Dude with the backwards hat. You know, she said, I don't know about you, dude with the backwards hat. It was so funny. Yeah.
But if they're able to eat off of our demonstration, then man, it's all worth it.
That's it.
And
That's exactly what you said to me. You said, we are the testament. Like this is the affirmation of what you can do. And we came with more than just a Q&A session. I mean, bro.
You want to close it up one more? Just because you said that, man. Like, what if Jesus had just said, "Yo, I would die for y'all." Yeah, not for real. Like I would. And then he like painted a picture about how he would do it. And then be like, y'all believe me, I would do that for you. And then he dipped out.
Yeah.
They had to see it.
They had to see it.
They had to see it. And I know what this one extreme into the next, but the polarity of those two things, there's a power in demonstration. And if we don't get that, like for ourselves and us demonstrating for our kids and demonstrating for our parents and, or the communities, if we don't demonstrate the things that we said we would do or that we could do, and you have the opportunity to do it, Ain't nobody gonna believe you. Nobody has no belief in that. Nobody's got no faith in that. So whatever you have the opportunity to demonstrate for other people, not for yourself, not be like I did it just to say that just to prove to myself I could do it. Yeah, I mean, if you believe you can do it, you can. Like why you got to prove it? Like, I mean, if you want to do it, go do it. Like, but the demonstration to other people that need that little bit of encouragement,
Yep.
whatever it is, to believe that, okay, yeah, he pushed through it. He got it. You have to do that.
Yeah, no,
So-
I'm with you. Every space that I'm in, every industry every time that I speak, I want whoever is there to look and see themselves in me and in you and be like, yo, if he could do it, they could do it, I could do it. And that's it. And we don't do that by saying it. So like the saying goes, don't just talk about it, be about it.
Yo, be about it. Oh, hey, we ain't gonna close out with the last word from Ray. We gonna close out with a little spoken word from my bro Rhy, cause this dude was warming up on the way to the school. And I was like, what's he doing, man? He had no headphones in. He just.
Bro, you saw me.
And I was like, bro,
warm up.
Yeah. Hey, so if you could just give because we open it up with some beats from Catholic ABCs. Can we just close it out with a little spoken word from my bro Rhy?
Let's see if we can get this here.
Just give him a little taste. Give him a little
All right,
taste,
here we go.
and then we
It
close
goes
this
like
out.
y'all. Realize with your realize. I said, realize with your realize. Realize with your realize. Who were your real girls? Who were your real guys? Too many times we played a role, acting super fake and we lose our soul. We want this fame, we want attention. We doing things that I won't mention. Or maybe I will, just to keep it real. Speaking from my heart, speaking what I feel. Ladies taking nudes for hella dudes. Videos of twerking while you working. Fellas laugh like it's a joke. You think you tight now cause you smoke, acting hella hard cause you got a tat. You hit the gym, now you're all that. Then this life becomes a reality, leading to physical, emotional, spiritual, and academic fatality. The true you never sees the light of day because you're too worried about what all the others would say. Will I lose my status? Will I lose all my friends? No more followers on Instagram, Snapchat, or Twitter trends. You want to be different, but what you're doing is all the same. When was the last time you did something original that wasn't a copy or a knockoff of someone lame? Always remember to just be yourself. Because an original you is always worth more than a copy or a knockoff of someone else. Bruh.
Y'all, hey, if y'all want to hear that again, man, if y'all want to see the finish and y'all want the rest of it, y'all gotta, share this, subscribe, drop it in the comments, man. Hey, we'll let him flow. Maybe we'll get a little beat behind it though. But yeah, man, he was just warming up, like just in the parking lot, and then when he dropped it at the school, I mean, we had some kids there. I saw one dude. He was like, "How long we gotta be here?" And then Rhy's like, "Yo, I'm not a rap," and he started coming out. I was like, and I seen this kid just pick up, and he was like, posture change, just started leaning in. And I was like, yo, he got him. But I was like, yo, dude, how you just gonna keep this from me? We
still got more to do. We got more to do.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you. And again, you and even what you dropped at the end, like I'm telling you, we doing something. Road to results. It's gonna be some. Just know we had that conversation that night. So listen, y'all. This was a June 6th. Just know, I'm gonna call it now. We talked about what the future of Road to Results looks like in a bigger picture. So we'll claim that now, what that looks like. We still don't know, but just know it's going to be something bigger than just a podcast because we know it's bigger than us. And then lastly, next week I'll be in Miami. So Miami, 240 schools, Miami Elementary School, Miami-Dade County Elementary Schools. I'm leading 3 days of training for 240 schools total, teaching adults how to use what we call the peace path so that we can bring more peace to schools. Because as you know, and I know, we need to start bringing tools. We need to start bringing solutions so that, man, we can just do better. So with that, y'all, thank you again for rocking with us. Remember, like the podcast, share the podcast, review the podcast. And as always, don't just go with us, but grow with us.
Let's go. Love y'all.
Love y'all, man. Peace.